Sister Rosa, a Ballad by Percy by Shelley. Read for LibriVox.org by Rosa. October 27th, 2007. The death bell beats, the mountain repeats the echoing sound of the kell, and the dark monk now wraps the cowl round his brow, and he sits in his lonely cell. And the cold hand of death chills his shuddering breath, and he lists to the philtral lay which the ghosts of the sky, as they sweep wildly by, sing to departed day. And they sing of the hour when the stern fates had power to resolve Rosa's form to its clay. But that hour is past, and that hour was the last of peace to the dark monk's brain. Bitter tears from his eyes gushed silent and fast, and he strove to suppress them in vain. Then his fair cross of gold he dashed on the floor, when the death bell struck on his ear. Delight is in store for her evermore, but for me is fate, horror, and fear. Then his eyes wildly rolled when the death bell tolled, as he raged in terrific woe, and he stamped on the ground. But when ceased the sound, tears again began to flow. And the ice of despair chilled the wild throb of care, and he sate in mute agony still, till the night stars shone through the cloudless air, and the pale moonbeam slept on the hill. Then he knelt in his cell, and the horrors of hell were delights to his agonized pain, and he prayed to God to dissolve the spell which else must forever remain. And in fervent prayer he knelt on the ground, till the abbey bell struck 1. His feverish blood ran chill at the sound. A voice hollow and horrible murmured around, "The term of thy penance is done." Grew dark the night, the moonbeam bright waxed faint on the mountain high, and from the black hill went a voice cold and still, "Monk, thou art free to die." Then he rose on his feet, and his heart loud did beat, and his limbs were palsied with dread, whilst the grave's clammy dew o'er his pale forehead grew, and he shuddered to sleep with the dead. And the wild midnight storm raved around his tall form, as he sought the chapel's gloom, and the sunk grass did sigh to the wind bleak and high, as he searched for the new-made tomb. And forms dark and high seemed round him to fly, and mingle their yells with the blast. And on the dark wall, half-seen, shadows did fall, as enhorrored he onward passed. And the storm fiend's wild rave o'er the new-made grave, and dread shadows linger around. The monk called on God his soul to save, and in horror sank on the ground. Then despair nerved his arm to dispel the charm, and he burst Rosa's coffin asunder. And the fierce storm did swell, more terrific and fell, and louder pealed the thunder. And laughed in joy the fiendish throng, mixed with ghosts of the mouldering dead, and their grisly wings, as they floated along, whistled in murmurs dread. And her skeleton form the dead nun reared, which dripped with the chill dew of hell. In her half-eaten eyeballs 2 pale flames appeared, and triumphant their gleam on the dark monk glared as he stood within the cell. And her lank hand lay on his shuddering brain, but each power was nerved by fear. I never henceforth may breathe again. Death now ends mine anguished pain. The grave yawns, we meet there. And her skeleton lungs did utter the sound, so deadly, so lone, and so fell, that in long vibrations shuddered the ground. And as the stern notes floated around, a deep groan was answered from hell. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.